And we are live. What's up, everybody? Daniel Allison, the average dude. And I hope and pray that you are ready to get your mind right, to start the day. So important. And we get friends to help us do that, don't we, Freddie?
Absolutely. Who is ready to get their mind right?
Let's go. All right. To help us do that today, and then we're going to have that call of the wild. We're going to drink the coffee and have a conversation. You guys get it by now. JD, his name is Jonathan Darling. He was recommended by our guest yesterday, Luke Frazier. So here we go. JD, welcome to First.
Let's go. Let's go.
So let me just say this. Luke said after the show, he was like, I know the guy with some incredible energy that is just the right fit for y'all's show. And I thought to myself, now I like that. So I know that JD was going to be awesome. So I appreciate that, man. Welcome to First Sip. And as I told you, I was kind of dependent on Luke. I said, I trusted Luke's opinion. I said, he said, he's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it. I looked at his profile and I said, man, he's got a lot of cool things going on. Legit. The one thing I wanted to ask you about is your podcast. Yep. What the Sale podcast? What is that right? What the Sale?
Tell me,
what is that?
Sale.
What the Sale?
Yeah, that's really kind of how it started. There's oftentimes in sales, it's kind of like, man, what the hell? So why not what the sell? And really, what the sell started out is in 2016, I started a blog and I started writing, and it was crazy because I had previous leaders and people that I looked up to and people that I thought cared about me that would make up fake email addresses and write derogatory things in comments on my blog. And the blog was all about just the bumps, bruises, and life lessons I've learned through a career of selling. And it almost made me quit writing and putting stuff out there. Cause when you have people that you thought you loved make fun of you and put you down and diminish the things that you're doing, it's hard. And eventually I turned it into a podcast, and we just talk about sales and give tips and
okay. So let me see. Freddie, do you have anything that comes to mind?
What was it, your self-belief that pushed you through that?
It was a little bit of self-belief, even though for a while that was something I struggled with, but it was also just sheer stubbornness and orneriness to be like, you know what? I don't really care what anybody else says. I'm just going to keep going, because obviously the things that I'm talking about, if they're in life, if you feel that much resistance around things, the obstacle's typically the way. Yeah. And so it was like, you know what, let's just put our head down and run through this thing.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's kind of, you have to step up and keep pushing. And we're glad that you did it. It's also looks from I guess that's the hero's journey, essentially. When you said my story on your profile, there was this kind of self-overcoming, and you mentioned a lot of the things that kind of I've gone through myself. So I saw some parallels in your journey, and maybe that's something that all of us can kind of. So tell us a little bit about your kind of psychological progress and the overcoming that you're talking about there in the profile.
Yeah, I had to learn at one point in my life, I really had to make a choice, and it was I'm either going to believe what God says about me and what he says is possible in my life, and that I am uniquely and wonderfully made, and that the gifts, talents, and skills that I was given were uniquely mine so that I can love people the way that I was created to. Yeah. And do that through these different avenues that we choose to do them through. Yeah. And it became this understanding of not everyone is going to get it. And that's okay. I'm not out here, I listened to Luke's quote yesterday, and if you try to be everything to everybody, and then you're nothing to no one. And I just really decided I may not be everybody's first sip, right? I may not be everybody's what everybody is looking for, but for the people out there who need my energy, who need my love, who need my positivity, that even if it's just one person, it's worth me doing my best to be my best in everything that I choose to do. And so it just became this mission of mine to live my life according to the purpose that I was given and not worry about what anybody else said about it. And that journey has it's been nuts. It's been the craziest thing in the world. And I look back on when I started writing and when I started making videos and podcasting and speaking and all of that stuff, and thinking, wow, I have this dream of this life that I want to live of impact. And, the journey's not done yet, but my goodness, it's such an incredible journey.
Oh yeah. You're already there. You're already successful. You know, things will change, right? I mean, the overcoming, the freedom and the kind of the things that I think you're expressing here, that's a win, isn't it, Freddie? I mean, he's already won.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what a lot of people deal with. A lot of times it might just be somebody just starting out in business or sales. You're going to have friends and family that don't like what you're doing. You're going to have outsiders throw dirt at you. But at the end of the day, if you know that you're making the right decisions and you are making a deliberate choice to get better, people are going to hate you for it because they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it tells us just about, I was thinking about this program and how it's attracting, just like you said, the people that think like we do, that are intentional, that are trying. And, I think that, I think that's what it's all about, getting the right people around you. If you have, whatever lunch table I sat at when I was in school, that's what I started acting like, right? I mean, association impacts us more than anything else. So we got to be around the right people, and we got to be ourselves to lead in the right way. So time for this.
Quote of the day. Quote of the day.
Love our quotes over here at First Sip. And JD, I'm sure you've got some awesome quotes. What do you have for us this morning?
It was hard to pick. I won't lie. It was hard to pick a quote. But it's I'm gonna choose a quote from Mother Teresa, and it's one of my favorite quotes, and I think it's very relevant to what you guys are doing and getting your mind right with the First Sip. And this quote is, "Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. Let us begin."
Woo! I love it. We only have
we got.
Today.
It's like it's the greatest day ever. Let's rock and roll this dang thing.
Absolutely. Freddie, where does your mind go when you hear that quote from Mother Teresa? I didn't know she said that, but I like it.
Well, you only have today, and that's the truth. Yeah. Yesterday is gone. So if yesterday was awesome, it doesn't matter because you got to make today better because that's all you got. And you can't think about tomorrow. You may not see it.
Yep.
And here's another one for you guys. Sometimes during the day, we will have this moment of, we don't have to call it a bad day. It's a moment that we could say the same about a moment, right? Because as I get older, I get more granular. If I had a bad morning, that was a bad first half. It's time for the halftime pep talk so I can do something to win the day, right? It's 4 quarters. I have First Sip. This is my beginning, right? And so I break it up into quarters just like that. And so, hey, I've got a 10 o'clock meeting. That's the start of the second quarter. We'll see how the second quarter goes,
That's it. Kobe said it. Kobe says it so good. He's like, look, it doesn't matter if you won yesterday. You wake up today, the score's 0-0.
That's it. And nobody cares about anything but now. Win the moment, whatever that means for you. That's a great focus. He's got the Kobe and the Jordan.
Yeah,
right
I got a
there.
quick question here.
Yeah.
JD.
Let's go.
If the game was tied, there's
Ooh.
7 seconds left.
Ooh.
Or do you want MJ or do you want Kobe to take that last shot?
Michael Jordan, hands down, every single time.
Amen, brother. Great. Thank you,
And
JD.
that's a hard choice, but Kobe will tell you, Kobe's game was modeled after Jordan's. His mindset was modeled after Jordan. Yeah. So instead of going with the replica, I'll go with the original.
The OG.
I'll have to say I agree with that.
Get ready. It's time for the 2-minute skill.
2-minute skill is something that we do every single day, Monday through Friday, about 8 o'clock, 8:05. JD, you got something for us this morning?
I do. When I was thinking about this, especially with a lot of people who are in sales or in business and those types of things, from my coaching and the stuff that I do, I hear a lot of people that struggle with, cold calling and finding good leads and finding stakeholders and being able to set first meetings. And the skill that I think can radically shift our outcomes in those areas is our mindset around the activity itself. And so it's a mindset shift of seeking after these things for selfish gain versus a purposeful pursuit of service. And when we understand that our gifts, talents, and skills paired with our products, services, or solutions are the unique way that we're given to serve the customers that need what we do and are looking for that help, then our pursuit should be that of purpose and of service of those customers by using those things in order to build meaningful relationships with them so that we can seek understanding and seek, the uncovering of what it is that they're really doing, really struggling with. And then we get to serve them with what it is that our tools we've been given. And so, when you're about to make some cold calls, when you're about to do some cold outreach, when you're about to go knock on some doors or go into a first meeting that you've set, the one thing that I do that has radically changed any of those activities is I remove myself and I just say, okay, this isn't about me. This isn't about what I can gain from it. It's not about my commission, my numbers, my metrics, or what my boss is going to think. This is an opportunity for me to serve these people and do my best to be my best. So let's go in there and let's just leave it all out on the table in service. And so that's just a little mindset shift for those in sales that, I think will radically reduce stress and anxiety around those activities and make it more purpose-filled.
I love it. And I'm sorry if I cut you off early on the 2 minutes. I don't have a stopwatch. Freddie, what comes to mind? I've got something I got to say. Go ahead.
That makes me think of the hero and the guide. We all want to be the hero, but in our position, you need to be the guide. The customer is the hero. Use your special gifts, talents, and skills unselfishly to lead them to the point where they win.
You basically went where I was going. But the thing is, if I'm gonna put this in a different scenario. If I'm posting something on LinkedIn, I've been posting on LinkedIn for quite some time. We can think in the same way, right? Am I doing this to show people how witty and smart or clever, or am I doing it for the validation, or am I going to share something from my life, like Freddie said, that's actually going to help somebody, right? And the older I get, I'm like, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. At this point, don't do what I do up until a certain point, right? So we can help in that regard, and we can reach out to those folks that need us. JD, thanks for being a guest on First Sip, all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee. Great to meet you. You are now in the club. And,
let's go.
And hey, who knows? We're going to have to do something about coming back together and doing something. So appreciate you being on this morning.
Hey, thanks, guys. Love what you're doing, and pumped to have been a part this morning. And keep it going, guys. It's freaking awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. All right. Y'all have a great day. See you, everybody. And let's roll.